Okay, thanks for joining me on today's episode. I'm just here at the soccer fields behind me. I'm going to flip my camera and see. Yep, you can check out there that I've got my eldest son, Sammy, training at this point for his soccer. He's had some injuries. He's struggling a little bit with that. And we've worked out that psoas, which is a big muscle at the back of the abdomen in front of the spine, has been tight, and also probably some growing pains, let's call it that, that his body is going through puberty, he's growing fast, and there's increased force going through where the big muscle at the front connects into the pelvis. So I'm here, I'm watching him, it's pretty cool. I've had a long day and I'm just like, you know what? I haven't done my daily systems video. So I'm like, okay, let's do this now. What I wanted to discuss was the critical nature of testing. So I've been working on a new funnel, and it's a very simple funnel. It's basically an opt-in page into a video, a training video that you can get at systemio.dev if you want to go through this. But in addition to that is a email sequence. Now this email sequence links back to the video, and what happened was when I went to test it, what I've done is that the email link didn't work. I'm like, what's going on here? Now I use Deadline Funnel, I use Kajabi, and those tools, I'm like, man, where's it gone wrong? What's going on? Why isn't this working? Is it a problem with Deadline Funnel? Deadline Funnel's awesome software. It's unlikely. Is it a problem with Kajabi? It's the first time that I've used their custom email service, so it could be. But I looked at it, I sent off to support, and they came back with an interesting thing. We started sending test emails to myself, and I looked at the link, and when I went in and clicked the test, it took me to the back end of Kajabi. The back end of Kajabi. Now this, when it was getting sent by the email, was ending up an error because I don't have login. Luckily, I didn't have login, or perhaps for whatever reason, I do have login on my own system, so I'm not sure, but it didn't take me to the back end. It got lost in a loop or something like that. It didn't go to the front end page. Now this is a problem. This is an interesting problem. Now, why is this an interesting problem? Well, to me, it's interesting not only that the critical nature of testing, yes, things need to be tested, but in the system that I used for this, I had a group of documents for the copy for the web page. Then I had another group that was for the Kajabi pages. But in actual fact, the actual reality of this is that there is 3 groups required, and I only had 2. One for the Google Docs, one for the back end of Kajabi, and one for the front end website. And if I'd done that, then it would have been clear. There would have been no mistake made when I copied the link across. So the actual problem lay in the structure of the system. Now, the good news is I can go through, adjust that system, add that extra group, and from now on, there will be 3 categories. 1 for the Google Doc for the copy, 2 for the back end of Kajabi or ClickFunnels or Kartra or whatever you use, doesn't really matter. But there's a back end experience for WordPress, and then there's the front end link. And the front end link is what I needed to go in, and for whatever reason I put in the back end because I didn't separate those out. So the lesson out of this is that details matter. Not just in putting the correct link in or actually putting a link in at all, but also thinking through when there is a problem, when something like this happens and I'm running a test and I get an error, to actually spend a little bit more time to think about, why did that happen? And so the identification is not just the work is not just the identification that there is a problem and the solving of that problem, but also that little bit of extra work to go, okay, hang on, I'm running a systems business. Why did this happen? Oh, wow, look, I actually need 3 groups in my assets. one for Google Docs, two for the back end, and 3 for the front end. That way, when I cut and paste, I've got my right links and my testing runs smoothly. I hope you can see the mindset that is required here. That when a problem occurs, there's not just the solving of the problem, but there's the ability to look at the system that created that problem and correct it so that it fixes it and it doesn't happen again. If this is a conversation that interests you, particularly if you are looking to grow from $500,000 or $1 million in revenue up to say 10, then you will run into these systems and processes problems. It's a matter of course. It is unavoidable to go from 1, you can maybe get up to 3. It's going to be super stressful. Or if you want to get to 10, then you're going to need to face this systems and processes issue. If you want help around that, head over to systemio.dev. Go grab the training that we've been discussing today. Thanks so much for joining in. And I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's episode as we continue this journey into the power of systems to grow your business. See you then.